Woo! Hello, everybody out there in Facebook land, TikTok world, YouTube, everywhere. There's going to be a clip of this going around and it being live. So, welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I am Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions, The Art of Monty Anderson. And here we talk about horror movies, sci fi movies, Christmas movies today, artwork, comic book artwork, my artwork right here. And let me go ahead and flip this around before someone else tells me to do so. I tried to find that. Welcome, Casey. Welcome to the broadcast booth. Got my little buddy here with me today, Mr. Gizmo. So, we're going to talk about Christmas movies today. Hopefully, you're all doing well out there. You got your coffee in hand, ready to go. This is really freaking loud. What the hell? It's really, really loud in my ears. Hasn't been that loud in a while. Maybe because I didn't have my headphones in all the way, maybe. And now I can really hear myself, and it's like, oh my god! You all can hear me though, right? That is on. I can't tell. Yeah, the green light is on. All right. So, welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. Roy is here. Casey's here. Several other people are here. Good morning, Vietnam. Sorry, I didn't do it like Robin Williams, but you know. All right. So, we're gonna kick it off a little bit. Um, so we made a little Christmas present, and I'm gonna show you a little bit of it right here. We created a planchette, and it does have glass. Well, it's plastic. It's not glass in there, but it turned out really well. We're gonna put felt on the bottom so that it slides around the board easier. So it's very cool. And if you know, as you do, you look into the planchette and you see what you can see. I've got nothing going on right now. So we did build this planchette right there, and it turned out really, really well. Show you guys up here as well. Right there, right there. But very, very cool. Oh, look, you can see my other screen over there and what's being projected up there. Uh-oh. Do I have secret stuff up? No, it's just a recording section up there. But there you go. So we do have that planchette right there, and we can make other planchettes if you're interested. Just let me know. All right. So that was pretty intricate design. It is um, a Viking symbol. Uh, what the hell's this name? Let me pull it up here. I've got it over her on the other pooter. I got it on the other pooter. Where's my download history? Come here, download history. Where you at? Where you at? Let's see. Open in pictures. Because sometimes it wants to open it up with other things. So welcome to the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Monty Anderson, your host here at 412 Productions, the art of Monty Anderson, and we are going to be talking about Christmas movies today. But I want to get this name um, of what this Viking symbol is that I created. Trikeka, Triketa, Triketa, Triketa is what it is, and it is basically a infinity symbol, if you will. Everything connects on it, and it's kind of like the infinity cross, if you will, for the Vikings. Yes, I've got my coffee in hand. The 8 energy drink peach mango. Get it now, or don't get it at all. Because the we did create a Ouija board for this planchette as well. It's actually a Christmas present for someone, and with that, it had a Viking symbol in the middle. So I went ahead and used the Viking theme all the way around for the planchette. All right, so there you go. So again, we're going to be talking about Christmas movies today. What's your favorite Christmas movie? What's your go-to Christmas movie whenever it is this time? of year. Now, some people watch Christmas movies all year round. Some people watch or listen to Christmas songs and music all year round. I'm not one of those. Now, if it's a Christmas movie that's like a horror Christmas movie, okay, let's do it. You know, I'll watch that any time of the year. But just to sit around and watch, It's a Wonderful Life over and over again, or um, Miracle on 34th Street, or those type things. I can pass on those. There's not enough blood and guts in those. The Charlie Brown Christmas, that's a good one. That's always it's kind of like the Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. That's a good one too. Uh, a lot of things that people are wanting to get off the air, but they're idiots. On that note, so all right, I've got a few sitting over here. Now I don't have my entire repertoire like Rambo. Great Christmas movie, and if you don't think that's a Christmas movie, you're far out there somewhere in another universe, because if you look at when he's arrested and brought into the police station, there's a small Christmas tree on the desk, on the intake desk. So it is a Christmas movie. So there you go. And then of course your diehards and all those good things, you know. Um, but if you want a really good movie to watch, go watch Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. It's not a Christmas movie, but I just had to throw it in there anyway, just because it's Elvira. Come on, you can't go wrong with some Elvira, no matter what you do. And the woman is like 80 years old and still looking like she's 30 something. You know, Cassandra Peterson out there. But yeah, so that is that on that. Okay, now we're gonna get into one that is it's campy, it's fun, and it teaches you a lesson when it comes down to the Christmas horror movies, and that would be Krampus. Krampus basically teaches the kids to be good for goodness sake, because if not, Krampus is going to come and take your entire family, you know. And they've got many, many Krampus out there, but go with the Krampus line when it comes down to it. Every holiday is better with Elvira. Amen. And I've got her in her skimpy suit over there with her autograph. I think I showed you that picture. But Krampus, there's many different Krampus movies out there. Um, you've got like Granny Krampus or Krampus. You got Mother Krampus. You got Krampus Returns. So watch any of them because they basically teach you the same lesson. If you're gonna act a fool during Christmas time, Krampus is taking your ass. All right, he's taking your ass, and you're never coming back. Okay, and it's just a fun campy movie. I can't say it's really creepy per se on any of them really, uh, but they're just fun movies to watch, especially during the holiday season. Um, and again, there's a ton of holiday movies that you can watch out there when it comes to Christmas movies. But you know, me since I'm into the horror stuff, Krampus is a good one. Black Christmas, which I do not have a copy of, but Black Christmas is another one that you can watch. That's a good, fun horror movie set in the '70s, or maybe it was made in the '70s. I can't remember right now, right off the top of my head. But yeah, Krampus is a good one to watch. This one has never been opened. This one's still sealed. DVD still sealed. What? What? Because you can stream pretty much everything. So why open it? I have it for the nostalgia. Black Christmas or Black Xmas. I can't remember if it's Christmas or Xmas, but it's a great movie to watch. Another horror film. It's kind of like almost like a sorority type of a situation, and but it's a great film to watch. Black Christmas or Black Xmas. But yeah, go find you some Krampus in your life. You can stream Krampus, any of the Krampuses, pretty much on any streaming device service out there that you want. I know on Prime Video they have pretty much every Krampus known to man out there, and I think Hulu does as well. Now there are some that have the pay option as well to rent it for like $2.99 or something ridiculously low, you know. So you can find that. And if you have a planchette, you can ask it questions. Will Krampus be a good movie? Yes or no? All right. So next, and why I have Mr. Gizmo here, is because Gremlins. Yes, this is a two-piece, a Goonies and Gremlins. But Gremlins, another great Christmas movie, right there, where all the Gremlins go wild, you know. And this is actually a childhood toy of mine that survived the house fire that one of my parents still, lived in their house before it burned. And I had to wash him off from all of the mire that he was on him, the smoke damage and things like that. So, but Gremlins, another great Christmas movie. Um, and Mr. Gizmo here is from 1984, which it says so right there on his foot. 1984. If you don't believe me, right there. Dun, dun, dun. 1984. So he's going to be here with us for this iteration, and he is articulate. His little arms and head does move, so he still is fully functional. You know, he's not in his box or package that he came in, but it's still a great nostalgic toy, childhood piece. And let's let him look at you guys with his creepy eyes. But Gremlins, any of the Gremlins you can watch. Start with, of course, Gremlins 1, and then move your way through. He is 41 years old, and he looks good for his age. And he hasn't been touched up or anything. This is the original paint that came as is. The flesh colored ears and all that good stuff. Um, and so with Gremlins, just a great nostalgic film for when it was made. Of course, 84 time frame. On that note, and all the way around, I'm trying to see here. Gremlins 1984, The Goonies 1985, and Goonies is a great movie too. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen. Does it happen at Christmas time? For some reason, I want to say that there's some Christmas lights up at somebody's house, but of course they're in California, so you can never tell when it's Christmas there. Just like here, it's going to be 74 fucking degrees on Christmas Day. That's not Christmas. You know, and I want the snow that Casey's got. I need Gremlins 2 on Blu-ray. Amazon, you can find it relatively cheap out there. Or if you have a vintage stock in your area, you can find it definitely cheap there. Um, I'm trying to think of some other video stores or places that sell videos, DVDs, and things like that for you, BZ1. Just because I know they're readily available. People don't collect DVDs anymore. Again, this one's still sealed as well, never been opened. Um, Two great films together on one DVD, so why not? Or maybe there's two DVDs in there. Yeah, there's two DVDs in there, so it's two separate DVDs in there. That is Geo Manipulation 75 on Xmas. Geo Manipulation 75 on Xmas. Oh yeah, yeah. It sucks. I wish. Send me your snow. Yeah, send it to me in like container form. Send me 3 containers full of snow, and that'll be awesome. And then I can use the containers as my house later on. Gremlins, great film. Just like Goonies is a great film. You can't go wrong with either one, but Gremlins definitely is a great holiday film to watch. Now, if little creatures scare you to death, then Gremlins isn't going to be for you. Just like Krampus isn't going to be for you, but Gremlins is better in my opinion by a lot. I mean, I get it. I understand, but I grew up on both. I was in '84. What was I? 13 years old then, and then 14 and '85. So, you know, they were great films for me growing up because this was a getaway for me in my youth. We won't won't go into all that trauma. Um, but but yes, Gremlins, great film. Can't go wrong with it. All the action in it alone. Yes, on Goonies was it Chunk Baby Roof? Yes. So, um, but Gremlins right there. That's Spike right there. That's Spike because they got him wet and he multiplied, and then he got fed after midnight, and so they turned into these little guys, these cute little guys right there. All right. So, of course, Gremlins and Krampus, can't go wrong with either one of them. The second one is even better. I like the satire on television in it. Yeah, absolutely 100%. Um, and each one has its own nostalgic feel. And that's the good thing about Gremlins. And they're actually going to do another one. Uh, you know, what is it? 30 years later, 40 something, or 40 years later, they're doing another one, or 30, whatever it is, after the last one. What was there? Three Gremlins, or was it just two? I see. I can't even think of how many Gremlins there were, but they're getting ready to do another one, and so I'm looking forward to that. This one's printed wrong. The logo needs to be back here. Is Joe Dante doing it? I'll only watch it if he's direct. I'm not sure. But let me pull this up here. But another thing that's happening, and don't forget, today is the winter solstice. Solstice. It starts at, depending on where you are, 10:03 a.m. on the Eastern, 9:03 Central, and 15:03 UTC. Whatever the hell that means. This is going to be the shortest daylight day, but the longest night, and the start of winter. In the South, it's the longest daylight and the shortest night. See, up north, it's the shortest daylight with the longest night. And here in the South, it's longest daylight with the shortest night, start of summer. Earth's tilt is 23.5 degrees as it orbits the sun, with the northern hemisphere leaning farthest away. So don't forget, this is your summer solstice or winter solstice. So if you want to cast anything, go for it. This is the best time to do it. New. Let's see here. Let's see here. Your shoes are driving me crazy. Okay, November 19th of 2027, they're bringing back original screenwriter Chris Columbus to direct and produce, with Steven Spielberg returning as executive producer for the first live-action installment in over 30 years. Gremlins 3. Okay, so this is Gremlins 3. So there is going to be 3, but we've only got 1 and 2 right now. So it is in the works right now through Warner Brothers, and as we know, Warner Brothers is currently being bought up by Netflix because Warner Brothers shot down the Paramount offer of $108 billion. So there you go. Um, Imagine shooting down a $108 billion offer just to go with Netflix, for Warner Brothers and all that it entails. Yeah, unfortunately, Paramount got shot down by Warner Brothers on their offer because they made a counter offer to purchase uh, all of Warner Brothers entities. And Netflix apparently still has the better offer or the better deal on the table. Is the only thing I can imagine why you would shoot down $108 billion offer. You know, someone comes in and offers me $108 billion, sold. I won't go into details on that, but unfortunately, BZ1 Netflix still has that. Don't you love people who say billion with a B? Like, we need to be told. I thought it started with a K. Oh, but yes. How about trillion? Let's just go with trillion. Just skip the billion altogether and go with the trillion. Because let's just say you did win the Powerball or the lottery at $1 billion, you're only going to bring home somewhere in the $800,000 range anyway. So there's your K on that. But all right, next up, Die Hard. Yes, Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and I know people rage bait on that on a regular basis. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Are you stupid? This one has been opened, and it is the 5 disc film, and every one of these happens around Christmas time. He looks like me, tough, hardcore, with weapon in hand. Quadrillion. Hey, anybody want to offer me $250,000,000 to work on artwork for them? I'll do a million. Or I'll do some murals for you for $250,000,000. Um, and Casey, I'm glad you look buff like this, man. You know, we all need friends like that. And but no, Die Hard, great movie and great Christmas movie. Come out to the coast, have a few laughs, she said. Those type things. And of course, Christmas just isn't Christmas until he falls from Nakatomi. Is it Nakatomi? Nakatomi building? Nakatomi Tower? And just a great flick all the way around. And, it did get campy in a lot of the other ones. Just like some sequels just aren't as good. But these held their own. Even into the last one where he, has his son with him, in the final Die Hard. Uh, a good day to die hard, you know, because you've got Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Die Harder, Die Hard with a Vengeance, which is number 3, Live Free or Die Hard, which is number 4, and then you've got A Good Day to Die Hard. So go watch this one. I watch this one every year. Girlfriend kind of hates it, um, but it is a great Christmas movie, and I watch it with Rambo as well. Again, another Christmas movie. And if you don't believe me, go watch the scene where he gets arrested. They've got the little Christmas tree on the desk, the intake desk, right there where the receptionist normally would be. And boom, it's a Christmas movie. So suck it, haters. So here you go. So what you guys throw out some Christmas movies for me, that you guys enjoy. Because I'm not gonna have my entire list and repertoire of all the Christmas movies that I've got. But there's a ton of them out there, when it comes to Christmas movies. And people have their favorites. Like I know people love Miracle on 34th Street, the original 1934 version, I believe, black and white, and then plus the the colorized version of the same film. And Home Alone is a great one. I've got that one in another case somewhere. That one I don't have the case, the plastic hard case for it. It actually in um, a binder, because I used to take all of my cases and just throw them away and keep the binders, and now I'm more into buying the ones that are still in case and not putting them in a binder. And good morning, Roy Joe Bradley Jr. Welcome to the show, finally. And but Home Alone, great movie. Home Alone 2, not so much. I mean, it was good. I'm not gonna say it was horrible, but it was okay. And then of course Home Alone 3, and was there a Home Alone 4? I feel like there was a Home Alone 4. And after that, it just kind of got shitty, if you will, and not pigeon bird shitty like in the first one. Um, and so was it the first one? Yeah, yeah, where he was with all the pigeons and stuff like that. And so yeah, Home Alone's a great one, and then everybody loves It's a Wonderful Life. I can't stand it. What's that other one that's got Fred Astaire in it? Uh, Ginger Rogers, I believe, where they go up to the resort. Uh, Crap, I can't think of that one. And people love that one, and I can't stand that one either. Um, Flying down to Rio. Well, cool. I mean, Rio is good this time of year. I'm not flying down to Rio. No. Um, but oh, you're asking about the title of the movie. No. No, it's we're talking about Christmas movies, Roy. I've already shown a whole list of Christmas movies that we've talked about so far, and I've still got a small handful left to go. But now we're getting your um yeah, I mean there's some good ones out there. You know, when it comes to Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers. Top Hat is my favorite one. I mean they're good. My ex-wife used to watch them because she was a dancer and in uh, ballet and hip hop and jazz and tap. And so she loved Fred Astaire movies and Ginger Roger movies and things like that. Anything that had dance involved in it. And so I can't stand most of them anymore. And I couldn't stand them before anyway. But there's some good ones out there. I'm not going to say there's not. But Roy, we're talking about Christmas movies. What are some of your top Christmas movies? You know. No, I get it. And to each their own on them because I don't knock them just because of the ex-wife. and and I still watch some stuff that that she enjoyed, but there's a lot out there that I just won't touch anymore, just because I can't stomach them because we watch them all the time. Uh, I had to watch stuff that I wanted to watch in another room. Let's go it that way. Meet Me in St. Louis is another. Yeah, I got that. But there's one where they go to a resort that is basically failing, and they're ex-military buddies, um, and they go up to the resort to try and save it. And or they get there and they find out that it's going under, and then they do this big get together to save the resort. It's a ski resort or some kind of a resort up in the mountains, in the woods, and I can't remember what it's called right off the top of my head. But a lot of people love that one too. And um, but there's so many Christmas movies out there. Jingle All the Way, you know, and one of the best Christmas movies ever is Chevy Chase Christmas Vacation. There's your opinion. Your National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is a good one. I love the old cartoons, Abominable Snowman and Rudolph. Absolutely. The stop action. Are you thinking of Follow the Fleet? No, I don't think it's Follow the Fleet. Um, I'm gonna have to Google it. Uh, Give me just 1 second right here. French filmography. This will help. This will help. Bum. Holiday Inn, 1942. Holiday Inn. That's the one. And Jimmy Stewart. Yes, good old Jimmy Stewart. But no, it is Holiday Inn. So that's what it is called. And but Jimmy Stewart had a lot of good ones. Like I was talking about. Um, the movie earlier, uh, and watch what you're saying out there in the lives because you're getting filtered. Whoever said whatever, out there, you did get filtered. I don't know who you are. I don't know which one of you said what, but you got filtered. Just so you know. And let's see. It's a Wonderful Life. That's the one. And everybody loves It's a Wonderful Life, 1946. Sean Connery. Oh my goodness, Miss Moneypenny. I guess I should have went up a little bit higher for Jimmy Store instead of staying down low for Miss Moneypenny. All right. So hold on. Let's do this. Let's do this. Yep. Sounds cool. Yes. Yes. Sounds cool. All right. So you got a ton of Christmas movies out there when it comes to all kinds. Like you got the newest one, Oh What Fun, with Michelle Pfeiffer in it right now, and all of that goody good stuff. Of course, you've got Spirited. You've got Red One. Everybody seems to like that one on Netflix. Violent Night. They're good ones. Yes, I cannot disagree with you on that. Of course, you got Dear Santa with Jack Black. You got the Christmas Chronicles, which everybody loves on that one. The Night Before. And then, of course, you've got Dr. Seuss's The Grinch. But there's so many Polar Express, Elf. We just watched Elf the other night. You got the Santa Claus movies. You got, of course, Christmas Vacation. You know, I love the show The Saint. You remember that one? I do. I remember that movie. And then, of course, you got Black Xmas. That's what it's called, Casey. It's Black Xmas, not Christmas. But there is one called Black Christmas as well. Um, and now you've got the mean one, which is, of course, the Grinch in a Schmerio killer role, if you will, taking out a family. Of course, you got Terrifier 3, which is a Christmas movie. You got Silent Night, another horror movie. Um, so you've got Black Christmas, you got Black Xmas, and you got two different Black Christmases. So you can take your pick. And then another fan favorite is Scrooged with Bill Murray, of course. And you know everybody has their favorites. Just like Roy just told us his favorite of all time, which is his opinion. It's not the opinion of others, but it is his opinion. And we, don't look down upon anyone's opinion here. But that is a good one. And so we'll start getting into my favorite. Now, this is Christmas Story number 2. Not as good as the original by any stretch of the imagination, but, it does follow the adventures of his brother as they've grown up. The parents have gone on, and so they're still holding down the Christmas tradition, in their family. And so, again, it's not as good as the first one by any stretch of the imagination. So if you want to watch it, watch it. It's okay. Watch them in order though. And so it brings me to my all-time favorite, A Christmas Story. So much so that I found this VHS at an antique store, and it is signed by Scut Farkus, Zach, who played Scut in the film. Um, and the only reason he's able to trademark and copyright Scut Farkus is because in the script it says Scott Farkus, but they called him Scut, and so he was able to copyright and trademark Scut Farkus. So that was kind of cool information. And so yes, I have this in DVD form, I have it in Blu-ray form, and I have it in VHS form, right there. Somebody wasn't Please Be Kind rewind because you can see there's still a little bit on here. So when I did find this at an antique store, I had to grab it because it is my favorite Christmas movie of all time. And again, my opinion. I know a lot of people hate this movie, and I don't understand why. It is the greatest Christmas story ever told, right here. And this still has the MGM proof of purchase on it, right here, which you used to be able to take off, you know. And I don't even know what you used to do with those, but every one of these had this proof of purchase on it, to show, hey, I did purchase this movie. So there you go. You've got Christmas Story, my favorite. Now, again, there's a ton of other ones, you know, especially when it comes to horror movies and just heartfelt movies and things like that. Now, I don't go as far as a lot of people and like watch the whole Hallmark Channel, you know, Christmas specials because, eh, eh, that's not my type of stuff. But again, Jingle All the Way, a Charlie Brown Christmas, which we've already talked about. Um, The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, Yarsh. And then, of course, your horror movies when it comes to Krampus, A Christmas Horror Story, The Holidays, A Christmas Carol. Depending on which one you watch in that one, in the Dickens retelling, you've got plenty of different horror elements in that because the three ghosts that he gets visited by, and and different people have told it in so many different ways. But it's very cool to watch the different depictions that come out with that one. Safe Neighborhood, and All the Creatures Were Stirring. Those are some horror movies. And then you've got the thrillers, of course, The Family Man, Little Women, Silent Night, Violent Night, um, Die Hard. You you got your heist, The Naughty Nine, Bad Santa. Bad Santa is just a fun little flick. If you've never seen it before, go check it out. Billy Bob Thornton does a great job in that, and um, it's just funny. Trapped in Paradise is another hilarious one when it comes to just the heist type movies. Uh, of course, you got Fargo, which is set in wintertime. I can't say that it's a Christmas movie, but Reindeer Games, Bad Santa 2, so on and so forth. Uh, Christmas with the Cranks, that Christmas. These are ones that feature Santa Claus himself. The Christmas Chronicles, Christmas Chronicles 2, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, all those good things. And I mean, just there's so many. The Fat Man. I don't know if you've seen that one with Mel Gibson. That one was actually pretty good. It is a paramilitary Santa Claus, and it's quite interesting to say the least. Um, I got a kick out of it. We watched it and enjoyed it. So, and so many different movies out there that people have opinions on, and good or bad. You like I said, people can't stand A Christmas Story, whatever reason. Maybe because it was a good movie. I watched it and I thought it could have been better, but it was decent. Uh, no problems with it at all. And we're at 20.9 thousand likes. I appreciate that, fellows and ladies, whoever's watching. Uh, you need to watch Red One. I mean, it's a good one. I'm not going to say it's a great movie, but it's a good one. A lot of action in it. Um, it is a drama thriller type movie uh, featuring Santa Claus and his main elf, which is unfortunately The Rock. Um, so you got a 6 foot tall elf, if you will. Um, so yeah, but no, tons of movies out there when it comes to Christmas related movies. And me, like I said, I will watch the horror movies all year round when it comes to Christmas movies. But for people to sit there and watch, just your normal Christmas stuff on a regular basis, 24/7, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, something's wrong with you. It's just like listening to the Christmas music all year round. It's just like, okay, I get that you want to be in the holiday spirit, you know. But why are everybody else get subject to that, you know, to that pain and torture, you know, of you listening to Christmas movies or Christmas music all year round, you know, when it comes down to it. But what are some of your favorites? We've already gotten a few. So what are some others? What are some others that you would go to if you were watching a Christmas movie right now? Say you were doing a week long up until Christmas Day when football comes on. What Christmas movies are you going to be watching this week? Oh, well, that's cool. No, I think you did tell me that. And absolutely nothing wrong with that. I know some people that just keep it up year round. Like you said, 24/7 Christmas in that one bedroom. And that, you know, and you could close that bedroom off whenever company was over and they didn't have to see the Christmas stuff. Or you leave it open and boom, Christmas they're enjoying Christmas 24/7 with you, you know? And there's nothing wrong with that. Some people, you know, just love to have Christmas on a regular basis. I've got to go take evaluation of my Christmas stuff. I was a little bit heartbroken because the tote, the locking lid tote that I had, ended up getting moisture in it, probably about that deep. So I've got to go take stock on all of my Christmas stuff. I had to wash all of my hats. That's why I've got them out and all that good stuff. You know, because they were a little on the unfortunately, and I did bleach them out, but you can still see it in there. A little bit of moldy on the inside, just like the stocking up there, which you can't see from here, but they can. Well, no, they can't. Well, they can kind of see it right there. So I had to bleach out a lot of my stuff, and now I've got to go and take inventory of my Christmas stuff that's in the boxes and stuff like that. And I'm going to end up losing a bunch of boxes because I did see some mold on boxes, so I was a little bit heartbroken because there is some sentimental ornaments in there, and you know stuff that I can't get back. So I've got to go take inventory of what is lost permanently and go from there. Now, most of it, luckily enough, it is, you know, like glass or plastic or something of that nature that can be wiped off and you know put in a new box that it will be completely sealed um, and put in a different place. That was my fault because I thought I put it in a place that wouldn't get wet out in my garage. That's not 100% sealed from the elements, uh, and so you know, I was a little bit on the heartbroken side whenever I opened that box up and I see condensation on the lid, and I look down the bottom and I see about that much water standing in the bottom of the the tote, you know. And there's no telling how long it had been there. Um, Enough so that probably my Christmas tree that we did use, which we couldn't put up this year just because of animals would destroy that this year. We're going to get it to where we can get it set up for potentially next year. Um, which I'm probably going to have to trash that tree. But again, I just got to go through and see what's salvageable, you know, on that note. Hopefully, some of the stuff, you know, I can't remember if I've got anything from my children in there or not. Uh, so I'm hoping that most everything is salvageable. So, but we'll see. I got to pull it out into the daylight and take inventory, like I said, and put it into a new box uh, with a better lid or just put it in a different place altogether. It might end up coming in my office, you know, you never know. Since this is sealed for the most part. So, what are some of your go to Christmas movies? We've got Christmas Vacation out there. We've got my favorite, which is Christmas Story. You've got um, Gremlins. You've got uh, Die Hard. So what are some of your go to Christmas movies out there? What do you watch every year? Like I said, what are you going to be watching from now until football on Christmas Day? Because me, it's Christmas time. No matter if it's horror, no matter if it's, you know, um, traditional Christmas movies. What are you going to be watching between now and Christmas? And then what are you going to be watching Christmas Day up until football, which were eliminated? The Cowboys, we got eliminated last night. Um, and this is going to be the first time in a long time in our NFC East that someone has won the championship back to back. You're watching music videos for Xmas. You can say Christmas, it's okay. Unless you don't like saying Christmas. And then you can say Xmas, and I don't care. Either way, whichever way you want to celebrate or say happy holidays like everybody else does. I say Christmas still, even though I know it's a pagan holiday. Don't come at me. You can go check yourself. Um, they stole it. And yeah, I understand that. But you can go check it out. It's a pagan holiday. It was stolen by the Catholics or somebody back in the day, and so you know, uh, and you can go check my math on that, and check to see if I'm on the equilibrium scale of the vibration of the wavelength of the universe with that. Um, and yes, I am being very sarcastic right now. But that'll be cool. Which ones are you going to be watching, Casey, when it comes to your Christmas stuff on there? Which ones do you like to watch? And where do you watch? Do you watch them on YouTube or somewhere on a streaming device, or you know, tell us your thoughts on that, because other people might want to do the same. Like some people will be listening to podcasts this week that involve Christmas and things like that. Last night he watched Metro. Okay, cool. Where again, where are you watching these at? Jethro Tull. Okay, very cool. A Jethro Tull Christmas. Oh, on YouTube. Okay. So he is watching these on YouTube. So there are tons of things that you can find on YouTube when it comes to Christmas stuff. Just like he's talking about, that's where he's going to watch a lot of his stuff. And YouTube has full movies out there. Now, if you don't have the paid subscription, you are going to be watching ads. So just be mindful of that. Just like on some of the streaming devices or streaming services that you can get that are free, Vivo also and Spotify. Okay, there you go. Just like on a lot of the streaming apps on your Roku device or whatever device you use to stream with, there's a lot of free apps out there. But with those free apps, generally it involves advertisements as well. So just be mindful of that as you're going into watching anything that's on a free app. Just know that you're going to be watching some advertisements most likely when it comes down to it. So, and there's nothing wrong with that because whenever we watch YouTube, the girlfriend likes T-Tone on YouTube, and we like Nuke's Top 5, and I like a bunch of other horror related content. Belial is another one that I like to watch, um, which is horror related. Uh, on Spotify, enter Xmas, and you got millions of Xmas music. Well, there you go. It's just like on my Sirius XM. They've got a ton of Christmas channels right now, especially the Rockin' Xmas, which is one that I enjoy and will always enjoy because it gives you rocking Christmas instead of just your typical Christmas. And I know everybody loves their typical Christmas, um, you know. And there's nothing, and again, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with your typical Christmas stuff. But I just like the more heavy tunes when it comes to Christmas. Uh, and if you want some comedy, go check out Bob Rivers' Twisted Christmas. It's hilarious stuff, vulgar, but it's funny stuff. He's got some a lot of good stuff. If you've never heard of Bob Rivers, go check him out. Yes, Siberian Orchestra, Mannheim Steamroller. Um, what's the other one? They're an a cappella group. But yeah, Trans Siberian Orchestra, um, and Mannheim Steamroller, Pentatonic. Yes, that's the ones. But there's so many good Christmas stuff. I mean, even the Pretty Reckless dropped a new Christmas album. And if you don't know who Taylor Momsen is, she was, in The Grinch as little Cindy Lou Who, and she became a rock, female-led rock artist in Pretty Reckless. So there you go. There's a little trivia knowledge for you if you didn't know. So there you go. All right. So now we've got into the music section of it as well. Um, I'm trying to say I did when I did. I think it was 2019 with 365 days of art. I did a year worth of art. I did a drawing a day, and there were some days that I didn't do a drawing, so I had to catch up. So I did two in a day and things like that. But I can remember Dan Fraga did Santa the Barbarian, and I redid that as one of my 365 days during the Christmas era. You know, so that's one of the Christmas things that I've done, and that's probably one of the more recent. I've done a bunch of wreaths and things like that for people, um, but I'm doing a lot of Christmas presents. Is why I'm bringing that up. I've got one here. I've got one already sent out or gave three to the person that ordered them, and then that's pretty much it. Now I am working on like I said the 3 book deal, the 3 novel deal as well. I've got the canvas right here, which I'm getting ready to start painting it up probably after the live. And one of these days I'm going to have it all set up to where, excuse me, you can see me and me doing the artwork at the same time. Hopefully before I pass on, like I used to, because there was a time whenever I did have both going at the same time, especially up here on OBS. So I would be talking, and you would see my face, which some people don't want to see that, and then you would see the artwork at the same time. So I'm trying to get back to that, but they've changed some things in OBS, and it makes it a little bit more difficult. So maybe one of these days, whenever I do get into a page streaming app that sends my art or my not artwork, but my stream to all of my socials at the same time, where I'm live on TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram at the same time, then hopefully I can get that other camera to work to where it's showing the artwork and me at the same time as we're talking about, whatever. That's a lot. It is a lot. But I loved that aspect whenever I could do that on OBS. But then they changed something, and then it didn't recognize the cameras that I had other than the main camera, and so, um, and I'm guessing that I need to put it into a separate port and all that good stuff. You know, sometimes technology isn't my bag. It's not my bag, baby. But I do muddle through it. I used to build computers, but I haven't built one in a long time. Especially since they became so cheap that you might as well just get it yourself and tinker with what you want. And all that goody good stuff. So, but again, those of you just joining us, we did build a planchette for a Christmas present. We did a whole Ouija board, you know, and yes, it does have the glass in there. Oh my god. Roy, what the fuck is wrong with you, dude? You brought Mariah Carey into this conversation? No. That song sucks ass. 100% sucks ass. I can get away with the Wham song, but Mariah Carey, if you're playing that shit around me, I will rip it out and throw it down the street. 100%. I could barely sit in the car whenever we were out doing some things and Mariah Carey came on the radio. And Mariah Carey sucks, okay? And I've met her personally. Um, Not so bad looking in person. Let's go there. And that's probably why you like her music is because of her jugs. Um, and when I met her at shareholders event, uh, she was a decent person, but she had this thing where she looked at the floor and her handler would take her wherever she would go, you know. But our eyes locked, and all that good stuff. I wasn't her escort um, for that show, but I was in the vicinity and got to meet her for a short bit. But her song sucks. It's horrible. It never needs to be played again. And and, and she needs to just give up music. I'm sorry. That's my opinion on Mariah Carey, and I'm sticking to it. And you've got your opinion on her, and it's wrong. Like I said, I can get away with the Wham thing, even with George Michael being what he is. And Andrew Ridgeley went on to be non-successful, which was the other member of Wham, which some of you might not know that. Um, he had a career after, which was his Andrew Ridgeley, solo gig. Had a great album after he split from Wham, and you didn't hear much from him after the fact. But he did have a good album, at least one after Wham. So there you go. Thanks for getting my blood pressure up. I'm gonna have to go take my medication now. Probably my mood medication too, because now I'm just gonna rage everything today. Um, just because of Mariah Carey and that stupid song. And you can go ahead and sing it in your own head because everybody knows the fucking tune. And um, it's just disgusting that you enjoy that song. I thought you eating Pop Tarts with ranch dressing was disgusting. But now I know how disgusting you really are. Wow. I've got to rethink this friendship. Oh, God, man. I can't believe you enjoy that. No wonder you like the Twilight shit. Yeah, the brain pudding that you make with mac and cheese with your ketchup. Yeah, that's kind of gross too. Looks like a big bowl of brains. But yeah, no, Twilight sucks. Mariah Carey song sucks. Um, Most of her songs suck anyway. Um, yeah, I see what's wrong with you now. There's a lot up there. You might want some of my pills that I take uh, for mental stuff. Um, you might need them more than I do at this point. So I'll bring them to you. I'm kidding. Entertainment purposes only, TikTok. Entertainment purposes only. But yeah, no. That's one horrible song that I wish they would never, ever play again. Um, it's just like the whole Justin Timberlake song, uh, the May song that everybody plays, and it's not May, it's me, but everybody plays it because, oh, here comes May. And it's just like, I can't stand that one either. Uh, and the two of the worst songs ever. And then you put Wham in there with it. I mean, you used George Michael, so it wasn't just George Michael that sang the song. It was Wham originally, and then he brought it into more existence. You know, I like Mariah's songs, but not her doing them. Yeah, a lot of people get that way, but a lot of people don't understand that. You know, other people wrote a lot of these songs that people sing, and people just don't understand that sometimes. Like, they wrote it and sang it, and because they sang it, they wrote it. No, incorrect information. Go look to see who the writer it was. On a lot of your favorite songs. Now, a lot of your artists now do write their songs for themselves, but a lot of them have another writer that does all of their writing for a lot of their hit songs. You know, so but yeah, no. If that song were to fall off the face of the earth, I would be so happy because that song sucks. 100% sucks. And yes, I know tons of jingles use it. A lot of people use it in their advertisements and stuff like that. And it is needs to stop. For the love of humanity, stop playing Mariah Carey. You know that song should no longer be in existence after the first 2 years it was played. Uh, I wish it would become a Mandela effect, to be honest. For the animals' sake, please. Yeah, I'm surprised they don't use it um, instead of the arms of an angel for this time of year for all of the dog adoptions and things like that. Um, and I could see no dogs being adopted if they played that song. So maybe that's why they don't. My girlfriend and I get into this. It's not really a debate. We agree on it. A lot of these adoption places that talk about, we can't get rid of our dogs for whatever reason. Have you seen the prices of your adoptions? Are you freaking kidding me right now? That's why you're not getting rid of your animals. Who wants to go in and pay $300 for an adoption? I know you've got your vet bills. I know you've got your boarding fees. I know you've got your food costs and all that stuff. But make it affordable for people. But I do know that there are people that will go buy, $1,500 dogs, $3,000 dogs or cats, you know, and that's just ridiculous to me. Give me a mutt, give me a rescue, those type things that which we've got in the house. And um, our red nosed pit, she was a rescue. She was nothing but a scab whenever we found her, at my parents' house. And we saw her a year before, and then she came back to us the next year. Just happened to hit us while we were getting ready to head home, and she was nothing but a scab and skin and bones. She was like 20 something pounds, and now she's 80 pounds. You know, and finally starting to get a little bit of her hair back because she only had a little bit of hair right here on the top of her head. That was left just because of flea skin damage. And but she's a very, I can't say gentle giant anymore because she's starting to become food aggressive with some of our animals that we have in the house. But she's still a good dog. She just got to learn not to take aggression out on the other animals uh, whenever there's food around. So, but yeah, adoption prices on animals is ridiculous, especially whenever it's an 8 or 9 year old dog already, and it only has X amount of years left, and you're still wanting us to pay $300 for a dog that could be potentially done within about a year? No, no, thank you. You guys can still hit me up on your Christmas movies and things of that nature, but I've got some animals that are milling around out there. I can hear them. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate you going over Christmas movies and Christmas songs and the horrible Mariah Carey and Twilight movies. Um, which none of those, excuse me, are Christmas movies. When it comes to the Twilight horrible tank series out there, and then the Mariah Carey Horrible song. Uh, but I do appreciate you guys. I do thank you for the likes and the gifts and the shares. And if you did follow me, I will follow you back. And as I like to say, we will catch you on the flip side. Have a good day, everybody.